Class, kindly take a note. Take dictation. Give the heading Vedic civilization. Heading Vedic civilization. Within brackets 1500 to 600 BC. Vedic civilization 1500 to 600 BC. Brackets close. The word Arya literally means noble, noble and respected. Full stop. It is more a linguistic expression. Arya, more a linguistic expression, comma, not racial, not racial, R-A-C-I-A-L, full stop. Next sentence, Aryans means people speaking Indo-European languages. Aryans means people speaking Indo-European languages. Mark the statement, very important. Indo-European languages. Full stop. The study of comparative languages. The study of comparative languages is called philology. P-H-I-L-L-O-L-O-G-Y. P-H-I-L-L-O-L-O-G-Y. Philology. Full stop. The language Sanskrit the first and the earliest of the Indo-European languages. First and the earliest of the Indo-European languages. The text Rigveda. The text Rigveda, R capital, R-I-G-V-E-D. Rigveda is the first text in world literature. First text in world literature. And comes under Indo-European languages. And it comes under Indo-European languages. Full stop. Next. Max Muller. M-A-X-M-U-L-L-A-R. Max Muller, comma, translated the, not comma, please remove it. I don't want to say German. Okay. Max Muller translated the Vedas into German. Translated the Vedas into German. Full stop. For him, the original home of Aryans, actual home of the Aryans, was Eurasia, E-U-R-O, Eurasia, Eurasia, comma, the green steppes, green fields called steppes, steppes, S-T-E-P-P, S-T-E-P-P-I-S, steppes, green fields called steppes in Eurasia, full stop. He proposed the Aryan migration theory. He proposed the Aryan migration theory. And for him, Aryans migrating towards India, in the eastern direction, first appeared in Iran. Full stop. Next. Iranian classical text. Iranian classical text, Jand Avestha. Iranian classical text, Jand Avestha, talks about Aryan gods, Indra, Varun and Agni. Indra, comma, Varun, V-A-R-U-N, and Agni, full stop. Varun was called, in Jandavesta, Varun was called Arunamazda. Varun was called Arunamazda. Full stop. Next paragraph. The Kassite inscription. Next paragraph. Kassite, K-E-S-S-I-T, Kassite inscription of 1500 BC. 1500 BC also records the presence of Aryans. It also records presence of Aryans in Iran. Full stop. Next paragraph. The Bagajkoi inscription underline Bagajkoi inscription found in Turkey, and Mitanni inscription found in Syria, S-Y-R-I-A, Syria, record the presence of Aryans in Afghanistan. Record the presence of Aryans in Afghanistan. And they also refer to A treaty, T-R-E-A-T-Y, treaty, understanding. A treaty reached between Aryans and Hittites, H-I-T-T-I-T-E-S, Hittites, Aryans and Hittites, the natives of Afghanistan, Aryans and Hittites, full stop. As per the inscriptions, as per the Bagajkoi inscription, right like that. As per the Bagajkoi inscription, the witnesses for the treaty were Agni, Tara, T-A-R-A. Taras means stars. Agni means fire. Mitra, M-I-T-R-A. Mitra means sun god, Surya. Mitra. And Nasatyas, N-A, Nasatyas, N-A-S-A-T-Y-A-S. Taras, Agni, Mitra, and Nasatyas. Sorry? Huh? No different. Taras, we call them, the other meaning of Tara, Nakshatra, star. Tara means stars. Okay. Clear? Fine. Next paragraph. Via Khyber and Bolan passes, via K-Y-B-E-R, Khyber and Bolan, B-O-L-A-N, Bolan passes, pass, P-A-S-S-E-S, Khyber and Bolan passes, Aryans entered Bolan Pass of Afghanistan. Aryans entered into India. This is all the narrative of Max Muller, Aryan migration. Full stop. Next paragraph. According to Dayanand Saraswati, the founder of Arya Samaj, Aryans came from Tibet. Full stop. Next. According to Balagangadhar Tilak, Aryans came from Arctic, North Polar, Arctic zone. They came from Arctic zone. Full stop. Tilak wrote, Balagangadhar Tilak, he wrote, Gita Rahasya, very important, mark it important. Gita Rahasya. Underline Gita Rahasya. Now give the subheading. Aryan settlements. Subheading Aryan settlements. They settled in present. Punjab and Haryana regions, R-E-G-I-O-N, regions called Saptasindhu. Saptasindhu. Underline Saptasindhu, comma, the land of seven tributaries. Land of seven tributaries of river Indus. Land of seven tributaries of river Indus. Full stop. They formed into Aryans, formed, F-O-R-M-E-D, formed into small tribes called Janas. Underlying Janas or Ganas. They formed into small tribes called Janas or Ganas. Underline that. Next paragraph. The six prominent Janas, six prominent tribes or Janas were Bharatas, comma, Puru, P-U-R-U-S, Tugwasa, Tugwasas, Yadus, and Druhyas. Yadus, not and, Yadus, Anus, and Druhyas. Bharatas, Purus, Tugwasas, Yadus, Anus, and Druhyas. Full stop. Next. Bharatas the most powerful. Bharatas were the most powerful. Full stop. The remaining five tribes were called Panchajanas. Pancha, P-A-N-C-H-A. Panchajanas, J-A-N-A-S. Underline Panchajanas. Full stop. Next paragraph. The Battle of 10 Kings. Underline Battle of 10 Kings. Battle of 10 Kings. Within brackets, Dasharaj. Dasharaj. D-A-S-A. D-A-S-A. Dasha. Raj. R-A-J. Dasharaj battle. Brackets close. Battle of 10 Kings. Within brackets, Dasharaj battle. Brackets close. Was the most important battle. Most important battle in the Rigvedic times. Next paragraph. It was between Bharatas on one side Bharatas on one side and group of 10 kings on the other side. Confederacy of 10 kings. Confederacy is the right word. Group of 10 kings on the other side. Full stop. The main cause for the battle was the ego clash between Vishwamitra and Vasisht. Ego clash between Vishwamitra and Vasisht. Full stop. Vishwamitra a Kshatriya, Kshatriya, and a non-Aryan, it's not Aryan. Vishwamitra, a Kshatriya and a non-Aryan, but became Brahmarshi. Brahmarshi by merit. Full stop. Bharatas made him their chief priest, chief advisor or chief priest. And after a while, after some time, removed him and made Vasisht as their guru. Or chief advisor. Full stop. Insulted Vishwamitra, formed group of 10 kings against Bharatas. Formed 10 kings against Bharatas. Full stop. Next paragraph. The battle was fought, Battle of 10 Kings. It took place, or it was fought, on the banks of river Purushini. Battle was fought on the banks of river Purushini, Purishi. Purushini, within brackets, Ravi. On the banks of river Purushini, within brackets, Ravi. Full stop. Bharatas were led by King Sudas. Sudas. He killed, Sudas killed all the 10, wait, Continue the sentence. All the 10 kings and took the title Trasadasyu. Trasadasyu. That means the killer of enemies, who had cut the heads of the enemies. Trasadasyu. Trasadasyu. Full stop. The group of 10 kings was led by Puruksa, 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 king of Tugwasas, king of Tugwasa tribe. Fine. Now give the subheading, geographical knowledge of the Aryans. Geographical knowledge of the Rigvedic Aryans. Subheading, geographical knowledge of Rigvedic Aryans. Rigveda called India Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa and Bharatavarsha. That's why you see we made an attempt to change our India's name into Bharat. That's the actual expression, Bharatavarsha, Jambudvipa. Okay. In your day-to-day rituals also, you call the priest, Panditji. When Panditji performs Sankalpa, there it is revealed. Bharatavarshe, Jambudvipe, Mero Parvata Uttar Digbage. That's how it stands. You are disclosing your identity, address, where you are sitting and performing that. Get the point? Fine. So, Bharatavarsha, there's a question also. These words, Bharatavarsha, Jambudvipa, are mentioned for the first time. They are mentioned in Rigveda. Full stop. Next. Rigveda referred to, next paragraph. Rigveda referred to river Indus, Sindhu, river Indus, Saraswati, river Saraswati. Right. You are looking into my face for spelling Saraswati? Huh? No. River Indus, Saraswati, and its 7 tributaries. UPSC punished you like this. Okay, better you get back to Sanskrit words, minimum of Sanskrit knowledge. And 7 tributaries, full stop. They were, not include. 7 tributaries were, number 1, Vitsata, means Jeelam, Askini, means Chinab, Purishini means Ravi. Vipus means Bias. Suvastu means Swat. Suturdi means subtlest. Drishadvadi means Rakshi. Full stop. Next. The rivers of Afghanistan, Krumu, rivers of Afghanistan, Krumu. Krumu means Khurram. And Krumu means Khurram, comma. Kuba means Kabul. Kabul and river Gomal. River Gomal. Were also mentioned. Full stop. Next. Rigveda talks about rivers Ganga and Yamuna in the east. But not the land beyond the rivers. But not about the land beyond the rivers. Beyond the rivers? Which rivers? Ganga and Yamuna. Beyond the rivers, Ganga and Yamuna. Full stop. Within brackets, Aryans had not entered into present UP, Bihar, Bengal. During Rigvedic times. Full stop. Brackets close. This was why tiger not mentioned. Tigers not mentioned in Rigveda. Full stop. Next paragraph. Rigveda talked about Himalayas in the north. And Vindhya, Vindhy, Vindhyas in the south. Vindhya mountains. Vindhyas in the south. But not the land beyond Vindhyas. But not the land. But not the land beyond Vindhyas. Are you understanding? Full stop. Next paragraph. They had no knowledge of, Rigvedic Aryans had no knowledge. They had no knowledge of sea, S-E-A-C, full stop. The word Samudra, S-A-M-U-D-R-A, underline Samudra. Samudra means sea. The word Samudra was mentioned only once. Was mentioned only once in Rigveda, with the meaning collection of water. With the meaning collection of water. Full stop. Next paragraph. Rigveda referred to a mountain called Mujavant. Mujavant, Mujawant. Mujavant in Himalayas. Mujavant in Himalayas. Famous for Aryan's favorite drink. Popular for Aryan's favorite drink. Soma. S-O-M-A. Favorite drink, Soma. Within brackets, a plant. Soma means plant. Known for magical powers. Magical and mystical powers for right like this. Plant known for, okay, that's not a correct expression. Sorry. Huh? Peculiar. What do you mean by peculiar? No. Write like this. Plant known for nourishment. That's it. Nouri. Nourishment. Nourishment. I told you, you look ever youthful, right? That goes with nourishment. Nourishment. Brackets close. Fine. Now listen. Up to this point I explained. Right. Now you are entering into the first stage of the Aryan civilization called Rigvedic age. We are dealing with Aryan political, social, economic, and religious systems developed during early Vedic age or Rigvedic age. Only source Rigveda. That's all. Then what does the Rigveda say? Rigveda says that you had only small tribal polities. Tribe formed into Jana or Gana. The head of this Jana or Gana, Ganapati, head of the Gana, you call him Ganapati. Rajan, in English you call him king. Sanskrit, Rajan. Rajan, literal meaning of the word Rajan, the best amongst the equals, most qualified. Most qualified, you call him Rajan. Most qualified in the tribe, he should lead the tribe. That's why Rajan. He is also called Gopa, G-O-P-A, Gopa. Gopa means protector. He who protects your life and property. King's primordial function is to protect the life and property of his subjects, his people. So king, in general, in the Rigvedic times, it was a hereditary monarchy. King succeeded by his eldest son. Law of primogeniture. What is law of primogeniture? When father is succeeded by his eldest son, it is law of primogeniture. So it was hereditary monarchy in general. You mean there were no elected monarchs? Okay, that's that's as much correct sentence. I mean, you had elected kings also. In general, it was hereditary monarchy. At the same time, you have elected king also. If the king elected, then that state is called Republican state. In your polity, you are told, head of the state elected. You call him, that you call the state Republic state. In the Rigvedic times, we had republics also with elected kings. In general, it was hereditary monarchy. Monarchy not powerful in the Rigvedic times. King was not powerful. He was not absolute, not autocratic and despotic. He was very much controlled. Kings in the early Vedic age controlled by powerful legislative assemblies. Powerful legislative assemblies, Sabha and Samiti. Sabha means the assembly of elders. Who are the elders? Elders means heads of the families and heads of the clans. I am explaining, try to understand. Rigvedic society was patriarchal. Father the head of the family. In Indus Valley times, you had mother the head of the family. In the Aryan society, father the head of the family. You call father Grihapati. Griha means house, head of the house, Grihapati. Okay, my father is the head of my family. My father's cousin brothers and cousin brothers, when they all come together, that forms into Kula, Sanskrit word Kula. Kula shall not be equated with caste, totally a wrong interpretation. Okay. Generally, people are taking today Kula for caste or caste system. Okay. If someone asks you what is your Kula, then you are telling, I am in Triya, no, I am Shudra. That is totally wrong. Kula means clans. English. Clan means people connected to each other by blood relationship. Are you understanding? My father, his brothers, when they all come together, that is called clan, Kula. Okay. in your Hindi, you can call it Kandan. Kandan ka izzat. You understand? Izzat ka sawal. Right? Then it is not the problem of one family. It is a problem of Kandan. Okay. Not only your family, but the families you are connected to by blood. Got the point? Got the point? That is clan, Vamsha, otherwise. You can call it as Kula. The senior most of that, Kandan or clan, you call him Kulapati. Kulapati, senior most man. Are you understanding? Your grandfather. Your father, head of the family. You call him Grihapati. Your grandfather, head of the clan. Then you call him Kulapati. So if heads of the clans, heads of the families, when they all assemble, that assembly is called Sabha. Is it clear? Sabha. Whereas Samiti, general assembly, open for all, including women. Women won't go and take part in Sabha. You mean woman should not take part in Sabha? Aisa nahi hai. It's below her dignity to go to Sabha. If she wants to attend Sabha, no one to stop her. Are you understanding? The point I'm trying to score here is, in the Rigvedic times, women enjoyed absolute freedom and liberty. Perhaps not perhaps it is, in the Indian history, the last stage where you see women enjoying freedom and liberty, it is Rigvedic times. Afterwards, nothing. So women generally, they don't go to Sabha. It's below their dignity to go to Sabha. You see, in Mahabharata, you have Gandhari sitting along with Dhritarashtra, conducting the court proceedings. Who could stop Gandhari? Whereas Draupadi was not for entering into Sabha, Dusyasana fellow dragged her into Sabha. A highly respected lady. You misbehaved with her. That's why Mahabharata battle. Are you understanding? You have no culture to respect a woman. That's why Draupadi, before sending Krishna Bhagavan, Pandavas sending Krishna as ambassador, their ambassador to the Kauravas, with the plea not to go for war, to give them their share. Then Draupadi asks Krishna, Anna, are you going for, mediation? You avoid war? Because she wants war. Got the point? Krishna knows her, what she wants actually. Then he tells her, war would definitely take place. Understand? That's why Gandhari cursed Krishna. You have come as a mediator. Instead of setting out the problem, sorting out the problem, avoiding the war, you complicated the issue, you Krishna. And all my 100 sons perish. Got the point? That's why Krishna tells you also, Rajaniti, it differs from person to person. All are just not just the same. For some people, you have to scare them. Some people, you have to console them. Some people, you have to terrify them. Some people, kill the beggar. He doesn't deserve any mercy. Rajaniti. All are not the same. That's the point. So coming back to this, Samiti, General Assembly, anyone can go and take part. Woman takes part in Samiti. Samiti, most powerful. Decisions of Samiti, final. Because Samiti is representing entire tribe. Are you understanding? It's like this. In Karol, I am the king of Karol, let's say that. I called for Sabha. Then your father, your grandfather, they all came for Sabha. Right. I also called for Samiti. Samiti means you all can come. You all can come to Samiti. Okay, male, female, candidates all, they will attend Samiti. Which is more powerful? Samiti, because it is representing entire area. Are you clear now? So Samiti's decisions are final and binding on the part of the king. King must go by the decisions of Samiti. He just can't say no. What would happen if he goes against? Then he would be thrown out. You can all revolt against me and throw me out. Are jao, nikale isko. Understand? Are you understanding? Was there any instance in Rigveda? Rigveda tells you there's one king by name Dushtaritu. The fellow's name itself Dushtaritu. Understand? He was he was he was thrown out. Okay. Which means a type of democratic system well developed in the Rigvedic times. So Sabha and Samiti. Very powerful. Next, king had no bureaucracy. No bureaucracy. If he wants an advice, then only a Purohit will come. Advise the king. After that, no Purohit. Pura, city. Hita, good. He who teaches you good is called Purohit. Right. King assisted by crown prince, Yuvraj. King assisted by Senani, chief commander. But be careful. There is no permanent and standing army. When a war takes place in the Rigvedic times, everyone would go for war, including women and children. Including women and children. It's just like street fights. In our street fights, you see, first women would go for fight. Behind them, their husbands running. You understand? Their children all will be running, one after the other. It's just like a street fight. Are you understanding? Okay. There's nothing that women should not go for war, children should not go for war in the Rigvedic times. Everyone would go for fight. Okay. Some colonies together fight. Tanda. Understand? Go for fight. All. Open for all. It's just like that. War ends, no Senani. Are you understanding? Senani is only for chief commander, only for war purpose. When war ends, no chief commander. That's why there was no regular officer. I mean bureaucracy. There's nothing called bureaucracy there. In the Rigvedic times, you had two taxes. Bhaga, compulsory tax. Next, number two, Bali, voluntary tax. It's not tax, I'm sorry. Voluntary offering. Offer. What you offer voluntarily. That is called Bali. As a token of your gratitude. Okay. You want to share your joy, your pleasure. Then you offer something for king or for someone. That is Bali. King, I am very happy. Crops bumper this year. I am very happy with my crop, bumper crop. I want to share the prosperity with you. You please take this. I am offering it. Are you understanding? Voluntarily, when you offer, it is Bali. Compulsory tax. Whether you offer it or not, you have got to pay. Because state is protecting your life and property. That is Bhaga, share. Share means a matter of right. King had right to collect share. That is Bhaga. Taxes were there, but not tax system. Understand the difference. Tax system, if the tax is clearly defined. Rigveda talks about Bhaga and Bali. Rigveda doesn't tell you how much is Bhaga. Are you understanding? It doesn't tell you how much is Bhaga. Secondly, it doesn't tell you who would collect. Who would collect Bhaga? Tax was mentioned, but it was not clearly defined, nor Rigveda talks about the officer in charge for collecting Bhaga. That's why we say taxes were there, but not tax system. In Rigvedic times, administrative units, okay, what was the administrative apparatus system? Lowest unit, village. Village the lowest unit. It's just like our district administration. Okay. Village called grama. Head of the grama, gramani. Group of villages, just like your block or mandal or taluk. Today you call it as. In your states, different names are there. Some states they call taluk. Some states call mandal. Some states call block. You understand? Right? So villages form into group of villages or block of villages. That is called vis. V-I-S. Vis. Head of the vis, you call him Vishyapati. Vishyapati. At vis level, right, group of villages, block level, you have another legislative assembly. That's called Vidhata. So how many assemblies, my dear? 3. Sabha and Samiti at the higher level. At the lower level, you have Vidhata at block level or mandal level. Different blocks form into Jana, J-A-N-A, Jana, or Gana. For that, head is king. So king means is just like head of a district. Today's district. Small tribal polities. Are you clear? Take a note. Give the heading. Polity, Rigvedic polity. Rigvedic polity. It was a small tribal polity. Small tribal polity with the tribes formed into Janas, J-A-N-A-S. Underline Janas or Ganas, G-A-N-A-S. Full stop. It was headed by king called Rajan. King called Rajan, R-A-J-A, Rajan, underline Rajan, comma, Ganapati, G-A-N-A, P-A-T-H-I. These are all the different names of king. Ganapati and Gopa, G-O-P-A, and Gopa, G-O-P-A. Gopa means, within brackets, protector. Protector. Brackets close. Full stop. The most important function of the king was to protecting the life and property. To protect the life, protecting the life and property of the people. Next paragraph. Generally, it was hereditary monarchy. Generally, it was hereditary monarchy. Full stop. There were elected monarchs also. There were elected monarchs also. Within brackets, republican states. Republican states. Brackets close. Next. King was not powerful. King was not powerful. He was controlled by powerful legislative assemblies, Sabha, S-A-B-H-A, S-A-B, B for Bombay, B-H-A, underline Sabha, and Samiti, S-A-M-I-T-H-I, S-A-M-I-T-H-I, Samiti, Sabha and Samiti, underline Samiti, full stop. Next, Sabha was the assembly of heads of families, heads of the families called Grihapatis, called Griha, G-R-I-H-A, G-R-I-H-A, P-A-T-H-I, Grihapatis, P-A-T-H-I-S, Grihapatis, and heads of clans, heads of clans called Kulapatis, Kula, K-U-L-A, heads of clans called Kulapatis, full stop. Next, Samiti was the General Assembly. Samiti was the General Assembly, open for all, including women. Mark it important. Underline women there, including women. Full stop. Secondly, Samiti's decisions final. Between Sabha and Samiti, Samiti powerful. Samiti's decisions were final and binding. Binding on the part of the king. King must follow on the part of the king. Full stop. Next, there was no bureaucracy. No bureaucracy. King was assisted by Purohit, P-U-R-O-H-I-T, Purohit, comma, Senani, S-E-N-A-N-I, Senani, S-E-N-A-N-I, Senani, Senani means within brackets chief commander. And Yuvraj, Y-U-V, Yuvraj, R-E-H, Yuvraj. Yuvraj means within brackets crown prince, C-R-O-W-N, crown prince, P-R-I-N-C, full stop. Next. There was no standing army. Standing army or permanent army. In a war, everyone would go for war. Including women and children. Including women and children. Next. There were taxes. Next paragraph. There were taxes called Bhaga. B-H-A-G-A. B for Bombay. B-H-A-G-A. Bhaga. Underline Bhaga. Within brackets, compulsory tax. And Bali. B-A-L-I. B-A-L-I. Bali. Underline Bali. Within brackets, voluntary offering. Offer. Voluntary offering. Brackets close. However, there was no tax system. Because Rigveda doesn't tell about how much was Bhaga. Rigveda doesn't tell you about how much was Bhaga and who would collect it. Full stop. Next paragraph. The administrative units were Grama. Grama or village was the lowest unit. Grama or village, the lowest unit, headed by Gramani. Gramani. Full stop. Group of villages. Group or block. Group of villages formed into Vis. V-I-S. Vis. Underline Vis. Sanskrit word. Vis. Headed by Vishyapati. Vis headed by Vishyapati. Full stop. At Vis level, that means at block level. At Vis level, there was another assembly called there was another assembly called Vidhata. Vidhata. Next. Different wishes formed into VIS, wishes, VISSES, wishes are different blocks formed into Jana, Jayana, or Gana. Jana or Gana, headed by king. Headed by king, within brackets, Rajan. Clear? Was the Vedic polity. Now, what was Rigvedic society? Listen, this is very important. When it comes to Rigvedic society, at the outset, it was patriarchal. Patriarchal, I mean, father the head of the family. Wife, husband, their children. That formed into a nucleus family. Head, father, Grihapati. Otherwise called Dampati. The other name, Dampati. Dampati. Dampa means couple. First in the couple, okay, is father, husband, otherwise. I already told you, family is connected to each other by blood relationship. They form into clan. English, clan. Sanskrit, Kula. Head of the Kula is Kulapati, senior most man. Understand? In the Mahabharata, senior most Bhishmacharya. You know, Kauravas, Pandavas, relationship wise, grandsons of Bhishmacharya. You know all this? Okay, Dhritarashtra, Panduraj, Kauravas, Pandavas, sons of Dhritarashtra, Pandavas, sons of Panduraj. Vedavyas, the father of these two, Dhritarashtra and Panduraj. Vedavyas, brother of Bhishma. Bhishmacharya, Bhishma, Devavrata, actual name. He took an awful vow, he won't marry. Awful vow. That's why you call him Bhishma. Just to satisfy his father. Chantanam. Right. So Bhishma, senior most man. That's why you call him Kulapati Bhishma. Right. In the Rigvedic society, most important development, social development was Varna. Varna. You call it in Hindi Varna. Varna system or Varna system. What is Varna system? Very important development. Understand. Varna literally means Varna, complexion, color of your skin, complexion. Varna, color, complexion. Generally, it is said Aryans, fair skin, whites, tall, well built. So these white-skinned Aryans, calling themselves Sveta, we the whites, Svetavarnas. Okay. You non-Aryans, dark-skinned fellows, understand? You are all Krishna Varna. Krishna means dark, black. Understand? There's definitely division on the basis of complexion. That is the first stage. Svetavarna, Krishna Varna. Second stage in the Varna system, it was identified with temperament, pravritti, which decides vritti, profession. I'll make it simple. Your professions are decided by your temperament. Are you understanding? In this class, all of you are definitely not for IAS. Some of you are for IPS. A bit intelligent people, some IRS. Both paisa hai isme. Understand? Today IAS, IPS, they are frustrated. Understand? Okay. Thankless job. Whereas IRS fellows very silently operate. Very silently operate. Our big brother in JNU with grown-up beards, mustaches, he is not interested in civil services. His interest is academics only. I will do PhD, post-PhD. Understand? I will go to teaching. That is temperament. That decides your profession. Are you clear? You want to become doctor, someone wants to become engineer, someone wants to become teacher. It's all been guided by what? Temperament. This temperament in Sanskrit, you call it as pravurti. Pravurti. Pravurti decides vritti. Vritti means profession. What is your vritti? Vritti means profession. In the second stage, varnas were based on profession. Are you understanding? Dividing the society into three varnas. Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Only three. You mean Shudras were not there? Shudras were there. In the Rigvedic society, Shudras were very much there. But without Varna status. They had no Varna status. They were there. Varna status, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Brahmin, he who seeks Brahmagnana, supreme knowledge. You are seeking knowledge. Kshatriya, you are ready to die for your people. Kshatra, chivalry, fighting spirit. You go for war to defend your people. Vaishya, he who provides service, thereby he makes a livelihood. Are you understanding? I will offer my service, I will make money. I am Vaishya. Clear? This is how three varnas were for. Right? This three varna system, highly flexible, my dear. What do you mean by flexible? Follow these things carefully. Anyone can change anyone's varna by changing profession. Your varna is based on what? Profession. So change the profession. Then your varna is changed. Are you getting the point? Today I will tell you all, I am Brahmin. I will go to all libraries, studying. I could not understand single thing. I got fed up. This life is horrible. I'll get back to you and I'll tell you. See, tomorrow onwards I am not Brahmin. I am Kshatriya. Understand? Here is a gym nearby. I'll go to gym. I have six-pack body. I will maintain a gang. In Rajendra Nagar, I am gang leader. Understand? I have a gang of my own. Our gang hits the other gang. We are hit by them. Get the point? I am interested in defending my people, whoever that follow me. I am gang leader. Here I am Kshatriya. Are you understanding? I got fed up with this life also. Every day being hit and hitting the others and going to police station, beaten there also. You understand? Bekar hai life. Here I will get back to you and I will tell you from tomorrow I am Vaishya. I will open up all Xerox shops here. Rajanagar, entire Xerox shops mine. I will also open up restaurants for you. Okay. You eat there, you take Xerox material, whatever you want. Understand? Pay me money. So I am Vaishya. Here I am changing my profession, thereby I am changing my Varna. In Rigveda there are fantastic descriptions. Right? I am a Brahmin, my brother a blacksmith, okay. My mother goes for cultivation. Okay. Within the family, you have different varnas in the Rigveda. Are you getting the point? So, here in the second stage, varna system completely identified with profession. Right. This system flexible, it's not rigid. Okay. Intervarna marriage permitted. Okay. I am a Shudra, fall in love with a Brahmin girl. Then she said, okay, accepted. We'll marry. Intervarna marriage permitted. Are you understanding? Intervarna dining permitted. Let's sit together and eat. I'm not interested in your caste. Got the point? That way, Rigvedic system flexible. Clear, my dear? Now come to Shudra. You said Shudras were there. Okay. Without Varna status. Then who were these Shudras? Whenever this word Shudra figures, people turn emotional. Shudras means suppressed, depressed, oppressed, oppressed, and all that they write. Huh? This is nahi hai, please. Are you understanding? No one suppressed them. No one repressed them. No one exploited them. It's by choice they remain like that. Are you understanding? Okay. Within a Brahmin family, you will have Shudra also. Shudra goes by the quality of life you lead. Are you understanding? This same Shudra can as well be tomorrow a Brahmin. Okay. In winter season in Delhi, all are Shudras. They don't take bath. Okay. They don't get up early. Okay. खाना पीना सब होता है, सो जाओ बस, कोचिंग बाद में देखेंगे. Understand? March onwards, everyone will become Brahmin. Get up early in the morning. Understand? Go for walk. Okay. Take good bath. Okay. You are different. Okay. This Shudra, actually Shudra means the one who is ready for hard work. Please understand this. Okay. Who is ready for hard work. Okay. But they don't follow any rules rigidly. Got the point? They are known for their hard work. But they have no rules, no rigidities, no regulations in life. It's by temperament, that's all. Okay. Shudras, very much Aryan. Shudras, very much touchable. There is nothing called untouchability in the Rigvedic times. Are you clear, my dear? Okay. By choice you are like that. I can change tomorrow myself and I will be a Brahmin or Kshatriya or Vaishya. Okay. You mean Shudra the lowest? Nahi. Shudra lower. Below the Shudra, you have Dasyu and Dasa. Who were Dasyus? Non-Aryan. Non-Aryan but independent. Independent non-Aryans were called Dasyus. You cannot enslave all the non-Aryans. When wars takes place, okay, war prisoners are caught, right? But you can't make all the prisoners as slaves. Some of them are highly meritorious. Some of them are highly qualified. You cannot make them slave, right? There are some independent non-Aryans. You call them Dasyu. Okay. Lower than this, I mean the lowest, lower to Dasyu, Dasa. Who is Dasa? Generally, Dasa, the literal meaning slave, slaves. Okay. Non-Aryans captured in the wars, you make them Dasas. When you can't make them Dasa, he is Dasyu. Are you clear? Dasa means slave. Sir, you mean only non-Aryans Dasas? Nahi. Within the stock Dasas, you will also see Aryans. Some of the Aryans may end up as also Dasas. When an Aryan would become a Dasa, he had taken the loan, he could not clear. An Aryan taking the loan could not clear, defaulter, then he would become Dasa. When Aryan defeated, right, defeated, then he can as well become Dasa. For instance, in Mahabharata, you know the cards playing game, playing cards, Pandavas, Kauravas. Pandavas lost the game. Dharmaraja lost Draupadi. Then Duryodhan called Draupadi, you Dasi, Dasi, you are our slave. Are you understanding? Because your husband lost you. Got the point? So, Aryans can as well become Dasas by default. This is Vedic society connected to Varna system. There are nothing called, rigid rules there. Clear? How do you know that this is Varna system? What is the most important source? That's the question in UPSC. Important source on Varna system, Purusha Shukta of Rigveda. That is the most important source. Then what does Purusha Shukta say? Very interesting. Purusha Shukta says that there were 4 Varnas, including Shudra. Arey, how can it be? You said that there are only 3 Varnas. Okay, who is right? Okay, Purusha Shukta right or your statement right? Our statement is right. Why? Because, follow this very carefully. In Rigveda, you have 10 chapters. How many chapters? 10. Okay. First one and the 10th one. Okay. These were compiled in the later Vedic age. They strictly won't come under Rigvedic age. They were compiled in the later Vedic age, added to Rigveda. That means actually Rigveda had only 8 chapters. Are you clear? First one and the 10th one, they were compiled in the later Vedic age and added to Rigveda. The Purusha Shukta I talked about is part of 10th chapter. That means Purusha Shukta was composed in later Vedic age. In the later Vedic age, Shudras were given Varna status. Are you clear? That's why Purusha Shukta says that there were 4 Varnas. Actually, there are only 3 Varnas. Secondly, the word Shudra, just see in Rigveda. In Rigveda, the word Shudra mentioned only once. 1028 slokas. Of these 1028 slokas verses, the word Shudra figured only once. That shows very clearly Shudras were there without Varna status. Is it clear? Is it clear? Fine. Then come to the next important development. Okay. What was the position of woman? I already told you, if at all women enjoyed their freedom and liberty for the last time, it's Rigvedic times. Woman given absolute freedom and liberty. What do you mean by absolute freedom and liberty? Her decision final, whether to marry or not to marry. No child marriage, first of all. The root cause of social evils is child marriage. Are you understanding? Marriage itself is an end. That to child marriage means it's a condemned lie. Okay. This marriage itself, I am telling you, my dear, it's a prison. You suffocate. Understand? My professor used to tell me, Are Shinaya, idiot, you are romanticizing marriage. Kuch nahi hai isme. Marriage is like a boring movie in a closed theater. You are not allowed to get out of the theater. Movie started. Doors blocked. Okay, they will open up only during interval. You have to suffer the movie. And that's not the end of it. When you get out of the theater at last, you see people standing in the queue to get inside the theater. Huh? So, I never forget this, you understand? Down to earth, very realistic observation. Okay. Huh? Child marriage. That is the root cause. That is the root cause of all the evils. Okay. There was nothing called child marriage in the. Whether you marry or not, it is up to you, girl. You decide. That's why it is called Swayamvara. Me, I will decide who shall be my life partner, or I will decide whether to marry or not. Woman permitted to wear sacred thread, study Rig Veda, recite Gayatri. Woman to go for higher studies. Ramayana, Valmiki says 2 women scholars came from Aryavarta searching for him. He was then at Vindhya mountains composing Ramayana. He sent them back. My dear girls, I can't guide you because I am rather preoccupied. Please get back home. I can't. Women going far, far away places in search of knowledge. This is not something new to India. See our women, how they are faring well in US. Okay. In everywhere. Okay. This is Sanatan Dharma. Okay. No country had given such freedom and place for women like India. Don't tell me, sir, you burnt woman in the name of Sati, you discriminated her. Show me which country had not done this. Which country had not done this? In the context of the history, there are certain malpractices and evils everywhere. The original content of Hindu Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, is this. Someone was telling Shiva, the first socialist, who had given half of his farm to Parvati. I told you, without Parvati, Shiva is nothing. He cannot do anything without telling her. Understand? Coming back to this, woman's position in Rigvedic times. Great scholars were there in the Rigvedic times. You call them Brahmavandins or Vishwavandins. Scholars of par excellence. They excelled in literary pursuit, in philosophical pursuits. Who were these great scholars? Gargi, Maitreyi, Vishwavara, Lopamudra, Jabala. Understand? Great women scholars called Vishwavandins or Brahmavandins dedicated their life. UPSC very often asked a question. The greatest scholar of the Rigvedic times. The greatest scholar of Rigvedic times, Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya belonged to the quota. He belonged to the court of King Janaka. Janaka, father of Sita. Sir, you mean to say Ramayana had taken place in the Rigvedic times? Yes, my dear. Yajnavalkya, greatest scholar. What's so great about Yajnavalkya? I tell you. Yajnavalkya composed Brihadaranyaka-upanishad. Brihadaranyaka-upanishad. See the genius. I am talking about a person of 1500 BC composing Upanishad called Brihadaranyako Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. You please guide me from darkness to light. My dear, Upanishads, highest sources on Indian philosophy, refined ideas. Show me the country in the world which has this much of intellectual heritage that goes back to 1500 BC. Importance of Brihadaranyaka-upanishad. It was the first Upanishad to talk about transmigration of soul. Atma Punarjivan. What is death? Death is for body, not for soul. Your inner soul is immortal. Okay. This is the philosophical perfection. Yajnavalkya composed Brihadaranyaka-upanishad. This is not the end of the story. You see now what happened. This Brihadaranyaka-upanishad translated into English by T.S. Eliot, and that translated version, Wasteland, title Wasteland. That Wasteland got Eliot Nobel Prize. So that Nobel Prize must have first gone to, strictly speaking, it belongs to Yajnavalkya, the first Indian to get a Nobel Prize. Are you understanding? Eliot admitted it. What that the Nobel Prize I got for my intellectual work, Wasteland, nothing but the translation of Brihadaranyaka-upanishad. The greatest scholar, Yajnavalkya. Invincible. No one dare challenging Yajnavalkya in philosophical and intellectual debates. This Yajnavalkya was challenged by Gargi, the great woman scholar. अरे एक बार इधर आओ भाई यज्ञवल्क्य, देखेंगे क्या है कि आप इतना पिस्ता पहाड़ है क्या देखेंगे. हाँ? ये point came where Yajnavalkya could not answer her questions. Means Yajnavalkya was definitely heading for defeat. Got the point? His ego had not permitted him to accept the defeat. So Yajnavalkya threatening Gargi, any question further from your side, your head will be broken into pieces. Because he is frustrated. He is like me, not able to answer your question in the class. Threatening you, oh idiot, what questions, silly questions you ask? Go and study, that's all. Understand? Isn't it? So the great woman scholar who challenged Yajnavalkya, it was Gargi. My student named her daughter. Sir, fantastic. My daughter Gargi. Then I told her, let it be Gargi, now ask her not to challenge me. You understand? Huh? Huh? I'm not, that is on lighter side I'm telling it. Okay, lighter side, humorous side. Okay. Gargi, undoubtedly, Maitri. Okay. Jabala Upanishad, one Upanishad in her name. These were the great women scholars. There's nothing called dowry system, nothing called sati. Widow remarriage permitted. Girl became widow. It's not her fault. Why should she suffer widowhood? You go get married. Okay. That way Rigvedic society, progressive society. Arya Samaj of Dayanand wanted a society of this type. Are you understanding? Reformistic. This is the actual nature. Corrupted form, that's a different thing. I will discuss that also later. Take a note. Time for your break? Go for a break then. Take a note. Society, Rigvedic society, it was patriarchal. Patriarchal. Full stop. Father, the head of the family, father, the head of the family, called Grihapati, and Dampati. Grihapati and Dampati. First in the couple. Dampati means first in the couple. Full stop. First in the couple within brackets. Full stop. Next. Families connected to each other. Families connected to each other by blood. By blood formed into kula. Kulas. Underline kulas within brackets clans. CLAN within brackets clans. Brackets close. Head of the clan, head of kula or clan was called Kulapati. Was called Kulapati. Full stop. Next paragraph. The most important development social development was Varna system. V-A-R-N-A. Varna system. V-A-R-N-A. Varna system. V-A-R-N-A. Varna system. Underline Varna system. Full stop. In the first stage, there were two Varnas. Svetavarna, S-W-E-T-A. Svetavarna, within brackets, whites. And Krishnavarna, Krishnavarna, within brackets, dark-skinned or blacks, dark-skinned, brackets close. Thus the literal meaning of the word, thus THUS. Thus the literal meaning of the word is color or complexion. Is color, C-O-L-O-U-R, or complexion, C-O-M-P-L-E-X-I-O-N, complexion. Full stop. Next paragraph. In the second stage, Varna system got identified with profession, within brackets, vritti, profession, within brackets, vritti, which was decided by temperament, within brackets, pravritti, I have written it, pravritti, within brackets, full stop. Three varnas were formed. Three varnas were formed called Brahmin, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. Vaishya, V-Y-S-Y, Vaishya, or V-I-S-H-Y. Either way you can write Vaishya, Vaishya, full stop. Next paragraph. There were Shudras. There were Shudras, but without Varna status. But without Varna status. Full stop. The word Shudra appeared only once in Rig Veda. It appeared only once in Rig Veda. Full stop. They were very much Aryan. Shudras were very much Aryans. And they were not untouchables. And they were not untouchables. Full stop. They were the lower section. Shudras were the lower section. They were the lower section, comma, not the lowest. Not the lowest. Full stop. Below the Shudras, there were Dasyus, D-A-S-Y-U, Dasyus. There were Dasyus, underline Dasyus, within brackets, independent non-Aryans. And Dasas, within brackets, slaves. Slaves. Within brackets, slaves, brackets close, full stop. They were both Aryan and non-Aryan. They were both Aryan and non-Aryan dasas. They were both Aryan and non-Aryan dasas in the Vedic society. You remember I told you? Full stop. Next. Varna system of the Rigvedic times, Trivarna system, right, like that. It's called Trivarna system. Trivarna system of the Rigvedic times was very much flexible. Full stop. One could change the Varna. One could change the Varna by changing profession. One could change the Varna by changing the profession. Full stop. Intervarna marriages marriages, and intervarna dining, eating, intervarna dining were all permitted. Were all permitted. Full stop. Next paragraph. Purushashukta. Purushashukta, underline Purushashukta. Very important, mark it important. Purushashukta is the most important source. Is the most important source on the Varna system. Mark it important. On Varna system. Full stop. However, comma, it says that there were 4 Varnas. It says that there are 4 Varnas in the Rigvedic age. Because it was part of the 10th chapter. It was the part of the 10th chapter or mandala, M-A-N-D-A-L-A, of the Rigveda, which was composed in later Vedic age, and added to Rigveda. Full stop. Within brackets, Shudras given Varna status, in the later Vedic age, full stop. Brackets close there. Full stop. Next paragraph. Women were given absolute freedom and liberty. Full stop. Rigvedic age was the last stage. In Indian history. Women enjoyed absolute freedom and liberty. Absolute freedom and liberty. Full stop. There were no social evils. Next paragraph. There were no social evils such as child marriages, dowry system, and untouchability. dowry system, comma, sati and untouchability, or untouchability and sati. Next, woman had the freedom to decide whether to marry or not, whether to marry or not, and the liberty to select her life partner, liberty to select her life partner, called Swayamvara, Swayamvara, V-A-R-A, within brackets, liberty to decide her life partner, that is within brackets, Swayamvara, underline Swayamvara, full stop. Woman permitted to study the Veda, woman permitted to study Veda and perform rituals, without husband, even without husband, full stop. The great women scholars of the Rigvedic period, next paragraph, the great women scholars of the Rigvedic period were called Brahmavandins. And Vishwavandins. Brahmavandins and Vishwavandins. Full stop. They included Gargi, Maitreyi, Vishwavara, Lopamudra, and Jabala. Full stop. Next paragraph, very important. It was Gargi who challenged the greatest scholar, of the Rigvedic times, Yajnavalkya, Yajnavalkya. Mark the statement important. Full stop. He belonged to the court, C-O-U-R-T. Yajnavalkya belonged to the Samsthan. Court means Samsthan, assembly. Court of King Janaka. King Janak, Janak, or Janaka. Who is Janaka? Father of Sita. Full stop. He composed. He means Yajnavalkya. He composed Brihadaranyako. Very important. Brihadaranyako. He composed Brihadaranyako. Underline. Brihadaranyako, comma. The first Upanishad to first Upanishad to talk about transmigration of soul. Transmigration. Trans. Transmigration. Transmigration of soul. Soul. Full stop. The popular quotation, popular quote, Q-U-O-T, quote, Q-O-A-T, quote, inverted commas, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Finish. I have to just write Tamasoma. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. You want me to write it? Huh? You can. You can. Okay. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Inverted commas close. Okay. Within brackets. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from darkness to light. That is the meaning. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya is part of the Upanishad. Is part of the Upanishad. Full stop. It was translated into English. It was translated into English by T.S. Eliot. E-L-I-O-T. Eliot. Get it right. Okay. Any variation there? It would end up as idiot. Right. T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot called Wasteland. Translated into English by T.S. Eliot called Wasteland. W-A-S-T. Waste. Wasteland. L-A-N-D. Underline Wasteland. Wasteland. You want me to write that also? Wasteland. W-A-S-T. Wasteland. Which got him Nobel Prize. Which got him Nobel Prize. Full stop. Next. Widow remarriages permitted. Widow remarriages permitted. Thus the society was egalitarian. Egalitarian society. That means liberal society. Egalitarian society or liberal society. Full stop. Now listen. when you go to later, Rigvedic economy, pastoral economy, Aryans had the knowledge of agriculture, but they depended more on cattle grazing, cattle, rearing cattle population. They practiced agriculture much, much less. Goduma, barley, Goduma means wheat. Yava means barley. Vrihi, that means rice. These crops were cultivated. Vrihi, rice, only for rituals and ceremonies, not for consumption. That's why even today in Hindu rituals and ceremonies, rice is meant for offering, not for consumption. I don't know how many of you observe Akshita, whether to offer it food to God. It is rice only. Goduma nahi dete Akshita ko. Right, rice. So rice cultivation was very much limited. It's only for ritual and ceremony. Same is the case, wheat and barley. They depended more on milk and milk products. That's why cow sacred for Aryan. For the Rigvedic Aryans, cow sacred. For Indus Valley people, bull sacred. Why cow sacred? It's because economy depended on cow, milk and milk products. This cow is called Duhitri. Duhitri means she is like the daughter of the family. You can never ever be, shall never ever be. You shall never ever be harsh with cow. The way father treats her daughter. In our home, we shower our love, affection towards our girl child, right? Girl is aprupa for the family. Father will not even touch girl. Understand? Whereas boys, I see they are far beaten. Understand? Horrible. Understand? The way boys are beaten. Okay. Girls, you see, they enjoy different status altogether in the family. Okay. We don't send our girls outside also for small little things. Okay. She is apurupa for us. She is the light of the family. Right? She is the pride of the family. That's the point. If girl commits something wrong, that's a great insult to the family. Understand? Boy is exempted because he is boy. It's just like bull. You understand? Yeah. Bull. Got the point. Bull is all sudden bull. However many times you beat, ऐसा चलता है. He is not bothered. Understand? Whereas cow is very sensitive. You observe it? Very sensitive cow. Okay. If you give it as part of dana to someone, it won't go. It will come back again to you. It won't go. Okay. We have cows, when we donate it to other Brahmin, okay, they don't go there. There's just by evening they'll come back again. If you are harsh, then you can see cow shedding tears also. Cow won't go. Okay. It's just like daughter of the family. Okay. That's why aghaya, not to kill cow. Okay. Cow is innocent. Cow is sentimental. Cow is auspicious. Shubhaprada. Understand? That's why you shower your love for cow. Understand? Yes. Okay. Cow is the source of prosperity, wealth. It was for the sake of cows wars used to take place. Understand? You see, in Mahabharata you had Uttara Gograhana. Pandavas took shelter in the court of King Virat. Okay. Kauravas attacked Virat kingdom. Right? and they shifted the cattle. Then Arjuna goes to the battle, liberating the cattle population. So there were wars fought for the sake of cattle. Right. Agaya, not to kill cow. Govesti, these terms are important. Govesti means search for cattle. Go and search for cattle. Bring them. Tame them. Then in NCRT you have another term. Be careful with this. Gogranya. What is Gogranya? Literal meaning of the word Gogranya, literal meaning kill cow. Eat its flesh. This is the literal meaning. Unfortunately, the real meaning is different. This is not taken into consideration by the supporters of killing cow and consuming beef. Okay. What is the other meaning, the real meaning here? Problem is, you depend totally upon translated works because you don't know Sanskrit. You never bothered to learn Sanskrit. Your history is written by British historians. Okay. For them, literal meaning is important, not the actual meaning. Makki translation. Understand? What is your name? Parth. Parth means never miss the target. So they will translate. Okay. He is Messiah, the one who never missed the target. Understand? Makki translation. Right. Kamlesh, father Lotus. Lotus father. Understand? Makki translation. Meaningless hai wo. Got the point? Venkatesh. Okay. Venkatesh, father of 7 hills. 7 hills father. Understand? Does it make any sense? They are not bothered. Okay. What that sounds them, what that suits them, the way they interpret it. I tell you, cow, go has 12 different meanings. Amarasimhas, Amarakosha. Amarakosha, first dictionary in Sanskrit. Okay. In your childhood, in general, you are taught Amarakosha. When you are taught Amarakosha, your tongue twists very fast. That's why children who learn Amarakosha, they pronounce any word with immaculate accuracy. You cannot find fault with their pronunciation. Okay. Problem with us is, we are neither with Hindi nor English. वो कुछ नहीं आता उधर उधर. See, Telugu people coming from Andhra Pradesh, they say, sir, we are from Telugu medium, you teach us in Telugu medium. I love to teach in Telugu medium. When I start teaching them in Telugu medium, they draw a blank face. Because they can't write Telugu also. It's a very high standard Telugu. Please come down. Where to go down? You please tell me. You have gone down already. वो नहीं समझते, इंग्लिश नहीं आता. Same problem. Okay. Our faculty also, I'm surprised. When they speak in bilingual, taste. I mean, they speak Hindi. At the same time, they go into English. This is the problem. Okay. We are neither perfect with our mother tongue nor with English. System is like that. That's the problem. Amarakosha, if you are taught, okay, you can understand the meaning of any language because Sanskrit entered into all other languages. Okay. So, what is the literal meaning, real meaning? Real meaning is not to kill cow and eat its flesh. Okay. Go also means your internal ego. You have internal ego, aham, me, this feeling. You kill that feeling. Serve the guest. Your guest may not be of your social status, but he all said and done, he is guest. Are you understanding? You got a guest who is very poor fellow. When you are hosting him, you must kill your ego and host him. This is the meaning. Okay. Perverted meaning. Kill cow, eat its flesh. It is definitely not the meaning. So Gogranya, literal meaning. Take a stand. Literal meaning is killing the cow. The real meaning is different. Right. Rigvedic economy, totally, village economy, pastoral economy. Okay, agriculture much less. That's why there was no trade, commerce, and industry in the Rigvedic times. Okay. If you go for extensive cultivation, there is possibility for the development of trade and commerce. It's that there is no extensive cultivation, economy remain village economy, pastoral economy. That's why there are no towns, cities in the Rigvedic times. In the entire Rigveda, the word Puram means town, is mentioned only once. Only once. Then you have medium of exchange, barter system. Exchange of goods for goods. Exchange of goods for goods, barter system. In some textbooks, it's written, okay, there was gold currency, Nishka, Satamana, that is totally wrong. Nishka, yes, gold, not gold coin. Satamana, silver, but not silver coin. There are no coins, no coinage, categorical statement, no coinage, minting coins in the Vedic age. Is it clear? This Nishka may be gold chain or gold ring, whatever that is. You can use it for medium of exchange. It is definitely not currency, definitely not coin, currency. Rigvedic Aryans manufactured a type of pottery, pot. Pottery, you call it black and redware pottery, BRW. Indus Valley pottery, BPW, black polished ware. Aryans pottery in the Rigvedic times, BRW, black and redware pottery. Rigveda talks about cattle trade. Cattle trade between the villages, neighboring villages, not distance trade. Discussing this cattle trade, while discussing, Rigveda talks about community of non-Aryan merchants. They are not Aryans, non-Aryan. This community of non-Aryan merchants, you call them Pani, P-A-N-I. Who were Panis? Non-Aryan merchants in the Rigvedic times, experts in cattle trade. Is it clear? Barring that, there is nothing to talk about Rigvedic economy, rural economy. Then go to Rigvedic religion. Okay, what was Rigvedic religion? How to define it? How to look at it? Rigvedic religion may be defined as monism, M-O-N-I-S, or henotheism. What do you mean by monism or henotheism? Monism means God is one. God is one, but He takes different forms. In other words, all forms are the forms of God. This is monism. This is different from monotheism. In monotheism, God is one, but without form. Are you understanding? God is Niramaya, Nirguna, Nirakar. That is monotheism. All forms are forms of God. This is monism. Rigvedic religion is monism, number one. What is henotheism? Henotheism means worshipping the forces of nature. If you remember, I told you Indus Valley people worshipped forms of nature. Vedic religion, forces of nature. Wind, awe-striking wind. You Vayu, kindly be merciful. Agni, you are burning. Understand? Varun, you are showering rain. Okay. Man was very much, awestruck by the forces of nature. So every force is a manifestation of power of God. This manifestation has taken human form. In other words, you worship the forces of nature in the human form. Then it is called henotheism. Are you understanding? Agni, Indra, Varun, you are giving them form. Right? Forces of nature given the human form. Then it is called henotheism. Hope you are clear. Then what does the Rig Veda say? Rig Veda says, whole universe, this entire universe, evolved out of one great sacrifice. Hiranyagarbha, sacrifice Hiranyagarbha. Who performed that great sacrifice? This sacrifice was performed by the first and the earliest god, Father Dayus, D-I-E-U-S, Dayus, and goddesses, Prithvi. In the Vedic religion, the first god, Dayus, goddesses, Prithvi. Prithvi means earth. Father Dayus, Mother Prithvi, they came together and performed a great sacrifice. That is called Hiranyagarbha sacrifice. From that sacrifice, whole universe evolved. This Father Dayus has the other names in other religions. Jehovah, Christianity. Josiah, Jupiter for the Greeks. Are you understanding? I am trying to tell you people one thing. All the religions had one beginning point only. Got the point? Unfortunately, we don't understand this. We corrupt the religion and we hate each other and ready to kill each other. Problem is, Christian doesn't know the meaning of Christianity. Hindu doesn't know the meaning of Hinduism. Muslim, he doesn't know what is Islam. Everyone talks great about, again, their religions, not knowing the meanings. Got the point? Do you think all the Hindus have the complete knowledge about Gayatri? नहीं. Ask Pandits first of all. Pandit ji, बताइए, what is Gayatri? Om Bhu Bhu Bhu. What is Bhu Bhu Bhu? Ask him. 24 letters. Ask him to give the meaning. Bha, Bhu. Each word has a definite meaning. Very rarely you see a scholar who can give you the meaning. You are reciting Gayatri without knowing the meaning. That's why it doesn't work out. It is like you are addressing a letter without address. Post it. वो उधर ही रहेगा. In nature you have power. To invoke that power you have to use certain words. If I raise my voice and use one word, you are awestruck. If I use another word, you are collapsed. I can make you up again. I can wake you up again. I can make you active with another word. Word has power. Right. You go to your doctor, wonderful doctor. He will tell you nothing to worry. अरे I am there. मैं देखता हूँ. Okay. When I speak to my student doctor, he gives me 1000 elephants strength. Word only. Remember? That's why always speak good words. Got the point? Generate only positive energy. Okay. When you don't know the meaning of the word you are uttering, okay, it won't work out. If I say, okay, iskodi, chalo, right? Iskodi. What is the meaning of iskodi? तुमको मालूम नहीं? If I give you the meaning of iskodi, you will jump with joy. Right? Same thing. Who is Christian? Whoever that goes to church and day prayers, they are not Christians. You know the meaning. Christianity's beauty is simplicity. Jehovah. Ask Christian boys. Christian friends, ask उनको पूछो Jehovah माने तो क्या है बोलो. Or then you go to prayers. I'm sure they can't give you the meaning. Who is Musliman? Ask Musliman. Musliman भाई इधर आओ. कौन है मुसलमान बोलो. We are uttering words without knowing the meaning. Jehovah, Jupiter, you understand? Who remains always. He is Jehovah. I am there. I am there. Whether you accept it or not, I am there. That is the meaning. Okay. So, Father Dayus, Mother Prithvi, whole universe evolved out of the great sacrifice. According to Vedic religion, this universe is divided into 3 spheres. Is it time? Am I running short of time? What is time now? Told me it. Okay. I'm sorry, I will discuss this tomorrow. But no point, because it will go for another half an hour or so. Okay. I will discuss this tomorrow. I will post your synopsis up to Vedic economy. Clear?